Welcome viewers and dear learners to my channel Learning English with Amol. This video is about a very interesting grammar item, direct indirect narration. Dear friends, in our human life we keep communicating with someone every now and then. As I have drawn some of the symbolic figures for our understanding, you may see here that A and B, when they interact with each other face to face directly, this type of communication is called as direct communication or direct speech. Whereas in many cases it happens, or in some situations you need to do so. As you can see here in the next figure, this is all about that happens in our day to day life. For example, A is a speaker and B is the listener. A speaks to B and B responds accordingly. So this is the communication which occurs face to face in two persons. At the same time, the chance is that one more person is either standing or is passing by, and the person consciously or sometimes in a very natural overhearing listens to the communication between A and B, and afterwards he or she may communicate the same to another person, that is D. So this is how the direct communication can be transferred or transformed into indirect one through someone else, and that person is called as reporter. As I have encircled the word reporter in red for C, because he or she may be a distant listener, not the direct involvement of the person, or even if one is directly involved but is a silent listener and not taking any part in the communication, but at the end of the communication this distant listener communicates the same to a person who was not at all present during the communication, that is D, and he or she listens to the very communication that occurred between A and B but listened by C, and he or she is communicating in the indirect form. So this type of communication or narration of the incidences keeps on happening in our human world. So communication between A and B is a direct narration, whereas the communication of A and B given to D through C, this activity is called as indirect narration. A is a speaker, B is the listener, C is the distant listener, or you may say reporter, and D, who is standing here as the listener of the speaker A through speaker C, that is reporter. So this is all about the basic difference between the direct communication and indirect communication. Now about the elements of direct and indirect narration. The first and the foremost figure is the speaker. One who speaks is a speaker, whereas a person to whom it is addressed is the listener. Third chance is that communication between two persons listened by another person and who conveys the same, that person or that fellow is denoted here as the reporter. The person who acts there as a reporter, the very action verb is called as a reporting verb, and whatever is conveyed there through the reporter, that entire statement is called as reported speech. Here is the list of reporting verbs. It may be say or says, may be said or said to, ask or asks, tell or tells, told and asked. So these are the varieties of reporting verbs possibly can be there in the sentence as the reporting verb. And about the reported speech, all it depends on the types of sentences which the writer has produced there for direct and indirect narration. Now here are some rules to change direct narration into indirect. The first point is about change in the tense form during indirect narration based on the form of reporting verb. If the reporting verb is in present, so there is no change. For example, you can see here, if your reporting verb is say or says, it means in the present form, so there will be no change in the tense form of the reported speech. Whereas if your reporting verb is said or said to, told, asked, so it means reporting verb is in past form. So accordingly, appropriate past tense form will be there while converting the direct speech into indirect one. On the other hand, if your reporting verb is in future, like shall say or will say or shall tell or will tell, so no change in the tense form. It means whatever the tense form it is will be exactly as it is. There won't be change in the tense form. I repeat it, no change in the tense form. The other words may get changed. Now one more set of rules, that is conjunctions used for indirect narration. Whenever a direct narration is converted into indirect one, reporting verb and reported speech are joined together, so it required a suitable conjunction for it. So if the sentence or the statement there in the reported speech is in assertive structural form, then while converting it into indirect one, the conjunction is used that if the reported speech is in interrogative form, may it be verbal question or WH question, but conjunctions are different while converting it into indirect one. If the given reported speech is in verbal question, so the reporting verb and reported speech will be joined by if or whether. You can prefer if because it is easy for writing as compared to whether. Next is WH question. If the reported speech is in WH question form, then that WH word should be used exactly as it is, as a conjunction. Next, reported speech form is imperative. If the given sentence is in imperative form, then you have to join reporting verb with the reported speech with the conjunction to. If the given sentence is in negative form, then instead of to, not to. And if the reported speech is in exclamatory form, then you have to convert that exclamatory sentence there into the assertive one, but priorly you have to join that reporting verb with the reported speech by that. Let's see the change in the reporting verb. While converting the direct statement into indirect one, if the given sentence is an assertive sentence, then you have to convert reporting verb said and said to accordingly. If the reporting verb is only said, don't bring any change, just put said as it is. If it is said to, then you have to convert it into told or informed. If the given reported speech is in interrogative sentence, then said, said to or asked will be converted into asked only. Of course, asked remain as it is. If the given reported speech is in imperative sentence form, then said or said to or told is converted into the very purpose behind that imperative sentence. If it is in the order form, then reporting verb will be converted into ordered. If it is a humble request, then it will be converted into requested. If it is a suggestion or an advice, then suggested. If it is an information conveyed to the person, then informed. If it is a warning, then warned. And if it is an advice, advised. Accordingly, you have to judge and select the proper reporting verb for that. Next and the last one, that is exclamatory sentence. If the reported speech is in exclamatory form, then your reporting verb said or said to will be converted into exclaimed, because the sentence is exclaimed by the speaker, so that reporting verb will be converted into exclaim. Now all it depends whether that exclamation is with the happiness or joy or grief or sorrow or any other mood form. Accordingly, you can join that exclaim by, for example, here happiness, shock and so on. All it depends on you, and it is not necessary that you should add it's not an obligatory one. All it depends on your capability, whether you can judge it well and write it. Otherwise, you merely can write exclaim. That is also enough for writing it accordingly. Now the next change, that is about the tense form change when reporting verb is in past form. I repeat it, these conditions are for only when your reporting verb is in past form. For example, said, said to, told, asked and so on. Here is the list of the tense form which is going to get changed while converting direct speech into indirect one. The first one is simple present tense, which is going to get changed into simple past tense. If the reported speech is in present continuous tense, so it will get converted into past continuous tense. If the given reported speech is in present perfect tense, it will be converted into past perfect tense. If the given reported speech is in present perfect continuous tense, it will be converted into past perfect continuous tense. Now, the more important and cautiously you need to pay attention towards these two tense forms, wherein normally the students make some errors with the tense form. If the given sentence in the reported speech is in simple past tense, its conversion is not there in any other form, only past perfect tense. I repeat it here, if the reported speech in the direct form is in simple past, then while converting it into indirect speech, the simple past tense will be converted into past perfect tense. Second and very important is past continuous tense. If the reported speech is in past continuous tense form, then while converting the same into indirect speech, it is converted into past perfect continuous tense. I have duly written those two tense forms in red color so that it may be specially kept in mind. Please note it down that these are the two important tense forms where most of we make some errors. About the next two is past perfect and past perfect continuous tense. There will be no change in its original form. And last is future tense. Of course, all four forms, there won't be any change except the auxiliary shall is converted into should and will into would. So this is all about how the tense forms are going to get changed during the indirect speech. Now here are some changes in the pronouns. In the given reported speech, if I is there, so the chance is that it may be changed into he or she or it, or it may remain I as I. All it depends on who speaks to whom. If the person speaking to the person, if the person is he, so of course the chance is that your pronoun may get changed I into he. Or sometimes if the person whom the speaker speaks and the sentence is all about the listener, so that I or that you may get changed into she. All it depends on the very situation of the sentence. Then we normally gets converted into they, then you, as I have written the possibilities, you may get converted into I, he, she, or sometimes if it is for plural may get changed into they. He, she, it and they are not changed, they remain as it is. Then some of the forms of I, we and you, that is me, us and you, they are changed accordingly into him or her or it. Us is converted into them, whereas you is converted into all these possibilities, that is me, him, her, it and them. This is about the change in the pronouns. Now last, that is change in the other words which you come across during the direct and indirect speech. For example, some demonstratives like this is converted into that, these is converted into those, here is converted into there, now is converted into then, today is converted into that day, tomorrow into the next day, yesterday into the previous day. So these are all possible changes that we have to do while converting any sentence there from direct speech to indirect speech. So in this video we have learned all the minutest changes that are possibly going to be a part of direct and indirect speech. So please kindly note these changes, mug up them or rewrite them or read repetitively so that those rules may remain always intact with you. If you like this video, please mark like, share it with your friends and relatives, and don't forget to subscribe this channel. Thank you.